Hello everyone. Yes, I know I have been missing in action for about a week now, more than a week now, and I sincerely apologize, but I have been in Windhoek, or Okahanya I should rather say, which is near Windhoek, for the Miss Supranational Namibia pageant. Now, I know I did say in my last Miss Supranational Namibia video that I wasn't going to be attending this year because Wormy had gone missing and I was literally just feeling straight up depressed, but my dear friends did eventually convince me to go, and we made a whole little girls' night out of it. To be honest, it was more for pleasure than business, if I can say that. And I did thoroughly enjoy myself, and I did find myself wanting to tell you guys about it, telling you guys how it was being there in person. Of course, if you're a dedicated pageant fan, then you might know that there did end up being a live stream, and I did also see the live stream afterwards. Again, it was streamed on Vimeo, and guys, really just being there was so incredible. I got to meet so many incredible people. I of course met Sleigh for the first time, who is the creative director of Mister Supranational. He is such a darling. He was so sweet, so kind, and he introduced me of course to Vargas, who is the reigning Mister Supranational, as well as of course to Mr. Poland, and I of course got to see my dear pageant queen, I don't know, she's just the goddess, Chanique. A funny story, actually, just as I was walking in, she was taking pictures with people and she leaned over and said, "Rina," and I was like, "Hi," and I just like moseyed on down the carpet to the hall, where of course I saw the national director of Miss Supranational Namibia himself, Mr. Willem. I didn't get to meet the president of Miss Supranational per se, of course, Mr. Gerhard von Lipinski. I'm sorry if I pronounced that in Afrikaans. I don't remember the correct Polish pronunciation. But he was there and I did see him a couple of times. He was on stage as well. Guys, I just had the best time, and I feel like the Miss Supranational Namibia organization have outdone themselves. The actual venue, just the inside was amazing. It looked incredible. I feel like Miss Namibia doesn't necessarily do things to the extent that the Miss Supranational Namibia organization did this year, and I feel like definitely they have set a new bar for pageantry in Namibia. I would definitely say that the VVIP tickets that I bought was money well spent, because you did get a dinner and a show, literally. Now, when it came to the actual show, there were various entertainments. Honestly, I can't even go through all of them, but there were dancers, there were singers, various entertainments. But I must certainly say, when it came to the entertainment for the evening, my favorite was when Varo was singing, and this beautiful little girl, and I've been told that she is one of the judges' daughters, came up on stage and did a whole little runway thing, and they were dancing together, and he is such a talented man, and guys, he is so handsome IRL, like you guys don't even know. Do you know how he greets people? Let me show you guys how he greeted me. Okay, so I'm being introduced to him now. Don't tell him I told you guys this. Quite embarrassing. So I'm being introduced to him now, and this guy, I'm reaching out to shake his hand. He comes in and he like does this little kiss thing, and I'm just like, "Sir!" And he does this with everyone. It's just, he's the most charming man. His partner actually was seated at our table, and his poor partner had to witness how everyone at our table were just gushing about this man when he was doing this performance. Oh my gosh, guys, Vargas, I can definitely see why he was crowned Mister Supranational. Oh my gosh, he is so talented, so handsome. Even me, I feel like I'm blushing right now. That alone, that performance alone, and meeting him was worth the money, okay? Aside from that, the quality of the Miss Supranational Namibian contestants, guys, I was so in shock. Out of the 11 girls who ended up being the finalists, each and every one of them were spectacular. They were spectacular performers, spectacular speakers. I'm talking now as someone who was sitting right next to the stage, seeing these women up close. When they come to my side of the stage, I can literally see whether or not they have shaved or put cream on their legs or not. I must say that each and every one of these women were exceptional when it comes to speaking, when it comes to grooming, when it comes to styling. They are all so beautiful. And I must definitely say, again, I don't mean to compare, but Miss Supranational Namibia definitely did beat Miss Namibia this year when it came to the quality of their contestants. I feel like at Miss Namibia, there are usually 5 or 6 women who I can definitely say are high quality contestants who I wouldn't mind representing Namibia overseas. But at Miss Supranational Namibia this year, I truly felt this way about each and every single one of the contestants. I felt like they were all well spoken, they were all beautiful, they were all well dressed. And honestly, I was just so happy when it came to top 6 because all of my very favorite girls made it. I'm talking Varo, I'm talking Almire, I'm talking Marta, I'm talking Julita. It was just incredible and it was an amazing show and I had so much fun. Speaking of fun, guys, I met some of you. I actually ended up sitting next to this guy. His name is Carl and he is just the most fun. Now, when it comes to watching pageantry, I'm quite reserved with my reactions. Like, I'm not necessarily the sort of person who would, clap profusely or scream or do any of that because that's just not my personality. But I do love people who are like that, and Carl definitely did the most, and it was so much fun, and I had so much fun making jokes with him, making jokes with the rest of my friends who were there. Like I said, I treated this experience more as like a girls' night rather than something that I needed to do because I do this, basically. It was so much fun. I had so many people walking up to me, greeting me, who know me from this, who know me from my Instagram. And it was just a shame that I couldn't stay longer afterwards. I had to leave right after to return to Okahanya. We arrived at about 6 p.m. The show started at around 7. But I had so much fun and I cannot wait for next year. I'm even considering attending Miss Namibia this year. I know. I've been very critical of the Miss Namibia organization in the past. But you know what? I feel like I have built relationships with people in the Namibian pageant industry. And to me, it's just so much fun linking up with these people again. When it came to the Mister Supranational Namibia aspect of the competition this year, I thought that the title was definitely going to go to one of the 3 black contestants, Sylvanus, Abner, or Danny. Of course, you guys know that Danny was my favorite, but I also would have been okay with Sylvanus or Abner. I definitely did not expect Jean-Louis to take the crown. There's even a video that Carl made, which when Jean-Louis was crowned, I was just like, I was not expecting that. And you guys know the judges and the national director of Miss Supranational Namibia, they probably know what's best for their title and what they want, and I'm not going to dictate who should have been chosen or not. But if it was up to me, I feel like it definitely would have been Danny or Abner or Sylvanus. But yeah, Jean-Louis was crowned, and I just am interested to see what is going to happen with that. When it comes to Julita, however, she had the most amazing final answer. So her question was something like, what about your culture would you like to tell the rest of the world? And she talked about how she is Oshivambu and how Oshivambu people are very hardworking, and how that has, sort of helped her on her journey towards studying medicine and working in the medical industry. And whilst she was doing this Q&A, we were receiving our dinner, so I was eating my schnitzel there, and while she was talking, I was, taking bites of my schnitzel, and I was just like, and I was choked because that was just the most amazing answer. And thinking back, I feel like Varo could have been an incredible, exceptional representative for Namibia, as well as Anmire, as well as Marta. But Julita did nail that final answer. One thing, however, is I do want them to change her hair when she goes to Miss Supranational, because I feel like the current hair that she has and that she has been sporting for a long time, that exact style, I feel like it needs a bit of a change up. I feel like her face could benefit from something perhaps a bit more voluminous, or just something else. Just change the hair basically. But other than that, I think Julita is just going to be an incredible representative at Miss Supranational. Do I think that we can get that back to back? It's difficult to say, because we are competing with Lady South Africa over there. Lalela, who is obviously going to come to kill, as well as one of my other favorites being Sophia Acosta from the United States. I feel like we shouldn't count her out either, but I do feel like Julita is going to make Namibia so proud at Miss Supranational, and I hope the same is true for Jean-Louis, but we will have to see. Jean-Louis, of course, is a radio host in Namibia, so he is quite well spoken, but we'll have to see. I mean, for me, it was just such a shock that he won. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he won't come out on top, or won't come out representing Namibia really, really well overseas. Now, lastly, I wanted to talk about the hosts for this year's Miss Supranational Namibia pageant. I feel like Odile Gertze, who was Miss Namibia 2010, and also, hello, Daf. Hallo Daf. Kom sê hallo. Sê hallo. Sê hallo die mense. So I feel like Odile Gertze, Dafie. Okay, go be down. Jy's baie annoying. Odile Gertze was also a top 10 contestant at Miss World 2010, which is the last time that Namibia placed at Miss World. She was an incredible host, okay? She just was so charismatic on that stage, which is why I believe that the Miss Supranational Namibia organization should make it a habit of having her host. Because she was just so incredible. But the male host, I must say, I know he talked about how he struggled with speaking. He was just a bit awkward and seemed like he was struggling a bit. You guys know how I feel about two hosts. Why have two hosts when you can have just one amazing host? And I feel like Odile would be that one incredible host which should keep coming back. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I do feel like the Namibian pageant industry need to give up on this idea of having multiple hosts when one good host is enough. Now, also, I almost forgot to talk about the gowns. Now, when it was mentioned that all of the gowns were designed by Namibian designers, I got like a PTSD flashback to Miss Namibia 2021, where they featured some very appalling gowns, which apparently were exclusively designed by Namibian designers. But to my surprise, the gowns featured at this year's Miss Supranational Namibia competition were incredible. When all those women came out just sparkling, looking like goddesses, I was so glad. Carl and I were looking at each other like, thank goodness, because all of these women looked absolutely incredible eventually. It's always a worry for me when it comes to Namibian pageantry, whether or not the garments will be of good quality or not, but I do feel like all of the outfits featured were incredible. The only thing is, with the swimsuit performances, the girls should have taken off the sarongs, and I also would have appreciated 2 pieces more than 1 piece bathing suits. I did notice that none of the girls took off their cover-ups, which is something that I would have preferred at the end of the day, but hopefully there's time, or hopefully that will be repaired next year, because I feel like some of the most amazing parts of swimsuit competitions is seeing the interesting ways that women usually use the cover-ups if they have them available. I also did appreciate the fact that there were stairs. Yes, a bit of an extra element of competition for the women. Some of the women, they went down the stairs like in a weird way, like sort of sideways, it just comes across as a bit unnatural, but it's not necessarily offensive to the eyes. But other women dominated those stairs and were amazing at them. I'm so glad that the Miss Supranational Namibia organization didn't necessarily care about whether someone was going to fall or not, and whether or not it was going to, look bad on TV when this did happen. I do feel like the stage were put in as a way to present another aspect of competition, which is something that I obviously loved. Lastly, being there in person, obviously it was probably a bit different than watching it on the official stream. So let me know what you guys think if you did indeed watch it on the official stream. I would love to know. Obviously, not everyone is privileged enough to attend these things in person. I'm usually the person who watches on stream like a peasant. Well, I have this friend in South Africa who he goes pageant hopping to each and every pageant to watch it live. He is just the luckiest. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening at Miss Supranational this year. I feel like it's going to be an incredible bloodbath. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!